Hi everybody, it's Mr. Magic here. Today we're back with another episode of Magical Mail, and I wanted to start off with this particular piece. This comes to me from Richard Herbert, the proprietor of Funbox 007 on eBay, and we're going to talk about being honest, even or keeping your word, even when you've made a mistake. Those of you who have been watching the channel will remember that I received a borderless Chrome Mox from Funbox a while back, and the listing described it as foil, but the product wasn't. Well, when I got in touch with Funbox about that, he was very apologetic. And what we worked out was that, I like the Chrome Mox, and it's a very playable card. Just thought I was getting a foil finish, and I wasn't. Not that doesn't affect the playability. It's an aesthetic thing. So what we worked out was that he gave me a discount on what you are about to see. And I was extremely pleased, and he seemed to be as well. So I just want to give a shout out to Funbox and say thank you so much for being a good businessman, and just check out that fantastic Karn Liberated. Just how much mayhem can be managed with. +4, target player exiles a card from his or her hand. -3, exile target permanent. -14, restart the game, leaving in exile all non-aura permanent cards exiled with Karn Liberated. Then put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. What a horrible, horrible card for, a Staxy control sort of deck anyway. And you only need 2 turns without interaction to get off that ultimate. Just a Funbox, thank you so much. I really I liked the first purchase. I've already put that Chrome Mox to some use playing it, and then Karn might end up in my Brago deck, because that deck is really oriented around stacks and taking my opponent's stuff anyway. But I'm just so pleased, and I appreciate your integrity, standing by your word even when you've made a mistake. And I feel like that's there's an old world kind of integrity about that's very, very rare. So everybody, you should definitely check out Funbox's store. A lot of premium types of cards, a lot of foil borderless types of stuff, a lot of masterpiece types of things. I know when last I looked, there was one of the I believe it was one of the swords from the Kaladesh Inventions on there, and I really wanted to pick that up just because it's a fantastic looking piece. But I settled on Karn there. Well, for our next piece, we have Aggravated Assault. It's a enchantment for 3. Pay red 3. Untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. Activate this ability only at any time you could cast a sorcery. So there are a variety of ways to use this or some other mayhem and shenanigans in Kiki Jiki to end up with an infinite number of combat steps and things like that. So very, very excited about that Aggravated Assault. Then for our next piece, here we go. This comes to me from Taylorsville, Utah. And, sorry, let me get that tape off there. There we go. This is Trophy Mage out of the Ether Revolt set. ETB, go to an artifact, mana cost 3. So that goes in Brago, and it goes and fetches a Rings of Brighthearth, among other things. But your first ETB is probably going to be go grab a Rings of Brighthearth with that card. That is a great card right there. Then our next piece is another Umbral Mantle. This is really a combo piece in just about any deck where the commander taps with some activated ability. You know, the ability to crank out or to ring out rather another iteration off that commander is very, very powerful. Even if it's not necessarily a commander where you can go infinite with him. Before I go on, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Umbral Mantle, the equipped creature has 3 and untap. This creature gets +2/+2 till end of turn. And so the benefit of the +2/+2 is almost icing on the cake. Most of the time that I'm using this card to untap a creature, I want the tap activated ability that the creature has. I'm probably not going to attack with it, but you know, who knows? Maybe if I can find a way to generate 3 mana off of every iteration so that I can infinitely tap and untap my own creature, well, I mean, maybe I'll attack after, you know, I've buffed it up, you know, so that it gets +500 million, +500 million until end of turn. And moving on to our last piece of magical mail today. What have we got here? Panharmonicon. Panharmonicon. That is also going in... excuse me. That is also going in my Kiki Jiki deck. Costs 4, says if an artifact creature entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So, you know, things like Flametongue Kavu dealing 4 damage when he ETBs, well, now he'll do 8 damage. Or Hoarding Dragon goes and tutors for an artifact and holds it in exile until he dies. Well, you know, your first Hoarding Dragon can go grab virtually anything. It doesn't really matter what he grabs. But then when you use Kiki Jiki to start copying that Hoarding Dragon, then you want to grab artifact combo pieces, things that like this Panharmonicon. You know, if I can get a Hoarding Dragon down, he enters the battlefield, he grabs Hoarding Dragon number 1 enters, grabs a thing, Kiki Jiki taps to make another Hoarding Dragon. That Hoarding Dragon goes and grabs Panharmonicon. End of turn, it dies, Panharmonicon goes to my hand. Next turn, I'm set up to play this Panharmonicon. Then Kiki Jiki taps to make this Hoarding Dragon, and it will go and fetch 2 artifacts, exiling them and holding them. And then at the end of turn, when it dies, it goes to my hand. So a lot of enter the battlefield functions in a Kiki Jiki deck, and those can really be abused and manipulated with a card like Panharmonicon. So that's all of my magical mail for today. We'll run back through real quick. We had Panharmonicon, we had Trophy Mage, Umbral Mantle, Aggravated Assault, and the Piece de Resistance, Karn Liberated. Thank you guys so much. This is Mr. Magic out.